Hey everyone, glad to see you back, and if this is the first video of mine you've ever watched, nice to meet you. This is my interview for the Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon Strings of Fate fan-made fan dub that's being put together right now. So for now, I'm going to go through the questions that I've been given, and hopefully you can learn a little more about me and why I decided to become part of this project. So to begin, question number 1. Tell us your name and your role in Strings of Fate. My name is Nikoru-chan18, and my role in String of Fate is I am playing Ami Mizuno, aka Sailor Mercury, and one of the villains, Ashi. Question number 2. Tell us a little about yourself. Well, let's see, where to begin? I'm 20 years old, and I live in Canada. I don't really know what else to go on besides the fact that I'm a huge anime fan, and I guess a fun fact about me is I own 728 volumes of manga that are all over my room, and I have no room for them all, but that's okay. Let's move on to question 3. How long have you been voice acting? I've been voice acting for, I believe, around 3 years. One of my friends, Haruso1, was actually the one who pushed me and encouraged me to give it a shot, and now it's one of my favorite things to do when I have a spare chance. And from some of the feedback I've been getting, I guess I've been doing a pretty good job of it so far. So here's to keeping it up for as long as I possibly can. Number 4. Now for some basic Sailor Moon questions. When did you discover Sailor Moon? I discovered Sailor Moon when I was, I'd have to say, probably around 5 or 6, I think. I watched it on YTV religiously as often as I possibly could, so it's been in my life for a ridiculously long time. I adore it. I really do. It was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and this is going back when I thought it was just a normal cartoon until I realized, no, it was special. So, yeah, there's that. Question number 5. What fascinates you about Sailor Moon? That's a good question. I've never really thought about it before. I think the imagination that goes into that series is what really drew me to it, because you've got these 5 girls and they have superpowers, which was amazing because for the most part all of the superheroes were guys, and it was the first time I'd ever watched a magical girl anime, and Sailor Moon is kind of the one to go to if you're interested in magical girl anime. It's like the one that started it all. And every single episode they were fighting a new villain, and there was like so many other characters that were involved, and it was amazing to watch. So I think that's what mostly fascinated me, was the amount of detail and imagination that went into it. Anyways, question number 6. What is your favorite moment in Sailor Moon? I think my favorite moment in Sailor Moon, would have to be when you meet Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus for the first time, mostly because Sailor Neptune is my favorite character, and I knew about her before she was actually introduced into the series. So when she finally got put into it, it was an exciting moment for me because I love her. So it was really exciting for that. Sorry I'm not that specific about it, but I haven't seen it in a really long time. Question number 7. Do you have a favorite character in Sailor Moon, and why? My favorite character in Sailor Moon is Sailor Neptune, as I said before. And I think the reason she's my favorite character is because her abilities greatly revolve around using water, and I tend to go for characters that use water as their, well, kind of, I guess, the best way to describe it is their magic, so to speak. And I thought she was really awesome when she first showed up, and I liked how she was kind of not with the main group since I'd grown up watching them, and she came into it and it was suddenly like, oh, she's different and she likes to be different. And I think that's what made me really like her in the first place. Plus, I really love the color of her hair. I think it's a really nice color, as awkward and strange as that sounds. Question number 8. Let's talk about the project. What made you audition for a role in Sailor Moon Strings of Fate? Sailor Moon Strings of Fate, I was actually invited to audition for. I had a couple of Sailor Moon auditions already posted for other Sailor Moon projects, and I guess someone watched it and thought that I would be able to give a shot for this project. So when I actually watched a video for it and saw the amount of skill that was going into it, I was like, okay, that looks really interesting. So I decided to give it a shot. I had no idea who I sounded like, so I basically went for every role, which took forever. But that's mostly what made me want to go for it in the first place. Question number 9. What is your opinion of Strings of Fate from what you know of it? I actually think it's amazing. I've never met anyone who has actually wanted to put this much effort into a project before, and to actually sit there and want to draw out every character and scene and put it all together and make their own animation for it, to me was absolutely incredible. Since I couldn't do it to save my life, I can just do the voices. So I think from what I know of it so far, it's going to be a huge success once it gets off the ground, so to speak. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how far it can actually go. Question 10. How did you feel when you learned that you got the role? After the deadline for the auditions was over, I was actually ridiculously nervous, more nervous than I think I've ever been for learning if I got a role in something. And when the video was finally posted, I was trying not to get my hopes up too high because I wasn't 100% sure how it was going to go. So I just wanted to try and keep it back a bit. And then when the videos were posted and I found out that I got the role of Sailor Mercury, I was absolutely ecstatic. It was one of the happiest moments of my life, as weird as that sounds, but as far as it went, I was really excited about it. And then I was actually with my friends at the time, and I told them, and they didn't really understand why I was so excited about it, but it was awesome, and I couldn't believe it when I found out. It was just an amazing moment for me at the time. Let's see. Question 11. If there was a chance where you could have chosen a different part, who would it have been? If I could have chosen a different part, I probably would have gone for either Sailor Neptune because she's my favorite character and I love her, or Sailor Saturn just because I find she's a very interesting character. So I think it would be kind of fun to play her in this, but I'm quite happy being Sailor Mercury. She's pretty awesome too. And question 12. And lastly, can we hear a preview of you voicing your character in Strings of Fate? Absolutely. Let's see how this one goes. And I guess since I have 2 roles, I'll first do my part as Sailor Mercury, and then I'll do my part for Ashi right afterwards. So here we go. Mercury, crystal power, make up! Shine, aqua, illusion! Stop, Ray. Don't mention exams. I'm so far behind, I'm probably going to get an A-. So, that was Sailor Mercury. Now, time to record Ashi. Our world lays in darkness and chains. Now, let us begin. And that concludes my interview. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Sorry it ended up being a lot longer than I expected it would be. But thank you for this opportunity, and I can't wait to get started on everything. See you later.